Okay, welcome to this week's Athlete of the Week interview. I am joined by Peyton Grant for the second time this season. Awesome to have Peyton with me today. We've got some special things to talk about from the performance she had the October 19th through the 24th of October. Very impressive performance by Peyton. But before we get to what you did on the athletic fields, let's fire off some random questions as part of our new process to start off these interviews to get to know a little bit more about you. Yeah, I didn't tell you that going into this, but they're really easy. All right. Favorite subject in school?
I would have to say science.
Science. Anything specific with science, like bio, chemistry?
Bio.
Bio? Yeah, was never for me. What do you have for future plans after school's done?
Right now I'm planning to major in nursing.
Awesome. Who would you say is the biggest jokester on the team?
It's a good question. I think I would have to say Cheyenne.
I had a feeling you might say that. Yeah. Who would you say is the most serious on the team?
The most serious. That's a tough one. I don't know.
Yeah. I have a feeling, I know the athlete you are. I have a feeling it might be you.
Maybe. I was going to say that, but I feel like we're all more goofy than we are serious.
That's fair too. Last but not least, what's your least favorite thing to do for conditioning?
Probably just sprints.
Yeah, I can't blame you. Yeah, thanks. Those are good. So let's talk about your performance. Like I said, you were not last week's, but the week before. You were the athlete of the week for that week, the 19th through the 24th. You had 5 goals and 1 assist in a 6-1 win over Greenville, 2 goals and a 3-2 loss over Central, tough Central team, and had 4 goals and a 7-1 win over MCI. But probably the biggest accomplishment out of all of that is you earned the record for most goals scored in the history of Dexter High School. With all of that said, and that kind of flowed into the last week of the season that you had last week, what was it like to go on this second half of the season stretch and go on the scoring tear you did and to rack up these accolades?
It was pretty cool. Definitely with a different season this year. It was kind of like a good ending knowing that it was my senior year and through all the challenges that we faced this season. I didn't really think going into my freshman year that I would ever be able to do this. My role on the team kind of changed. Like my first 2 years, I was more of a facilitator, get the ball up the field and just play defense and do that sort of thing. But the last 2 years, I've been more of a scorer, but I wouldn't have been able to do that without my teammates. You know, the past couple of years, our defense has been like strong and they always look to get me the ball and, you know, do those things that people may not notice, like go towards the wins, but they definitely don't get the recognition that they deserve. And I think that is important when looking at like a team.
Yeah, very mature statement. Absolutely. You passed the all-time scoring record in the MCI game. At what point did you know, or did you start to realize that you were coming up on it? And I mean, you had to score four goals in that game. Well, at what point did you know, hey, I could go for the record here?
Honestly, I really didn't. I knew going into the season that I needed 20-something goals, but I never once kept track after games or, I need this many going into the game. I didn't even know going into the MCI game that I had a chance to break it.
Well, absolutely. And that's probably most of the reason that not most of the reason, but that's a lot of reason why you did. You just played the game.
Yeah.
So at this point in the year, we were talking before we started recording this interview, but the season has come to an end. You've had some impressive performances on the season. Unfortunately, there were no playoffs or things of that nature. But if you were to look back on this season, what would you say you're going to go away from this year or this season remembering and thinking back to personally as a team? Just what is your takeaway from what was a crazy fall 2020 season?
I mean, I'll always remember this season. I'm just very thankful that we were able to have this season knowing that it was my senior year. I don't know what I would have done if we didn't have a season. I'm just thankful that everyone did their part to, make this season possible for us.
Absolutely, and you're one heck of a basketball player too. We don't have an official word on what the basketball season is going to look like. We know that it got pushed back from its initial start date with practices. Not knowing what's going to be going on with that, what are your thoughts heading into hopefully basketball season, and how are you going to keep yourself prepared for hopefully what is a basketball season?
I hope that people can see from, the soccer season that we were able to play soccer. I know basketball is different. We're inside a gym. The numbers are limited, but I'm just hoping that people give it a shot, and I'm going to keep working in the off season to continue to get better if we do have a season with my teammates, and we're just going to hope for the best.
And we certainly hope that there is a season so we can see tremendous athletes like you out there competing and having a great time. Thank you for joining me on what was the second interview we've been able to have this season. I told you the last time that I wouldn't be surprised if it happened again, and it happened again. So thank you very much for joining me today. Stay on the lookout for more Athlete of the Week interviews coming. We have 2 more scheduled for the last week performances, and thank you for joining us along the way. Zach White here, Peyton Grant, thank you for the interview, and we'll see you in the next one.